Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, the channel where we look at different YouTubers and celebrities and point out some traits that they seem to show that fall within the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD. Please do not send any snark to our subjects. First of all, let me say very clearly once again, we are having a little messy fun. This is not a diagnosis. We're simply going to point out some traits that this YouTuber shows us that seem similar to traits that fall within NPD. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. Today we're going to keep it short and sweet. I've been doing double duty catching up and keeping on a schedule, and I can only spend so much time with Amber. Wednesday, I will be back with a non-Amber Narc Alert. So for today, let's look way back to 2015 at Amber telling us how she feels about meeting Destiny. Is Amber going through the same thing today? Is wifey arriving?
As happy as the average kid. I was always the fat friend, the ugly friend. I just always felt like Fat Amber, and that's exactly what I was called. As a little girl, my dad would push me into a corner and he would spit loogies in my face, calling me every fat name that I could even think of imaginable. It was probably the hardest for me hearing it come from my dad. I almost expected it from kids at school, but not from my own father. My brother saw how my dad treated me, and it kind of grew on him. As we got older into teenage years, my brother would physically abuse me. The things he would say regarding my weight was absolutely horrific. Every bad thing that would ever happen to me in my life, I purely blamed it on my weight. If I got a bad grade, it was because of my weight. If a boy didn't want to go out with me, it was because of my weight. If a girl didn't want to go out with me, it was because of my weight. If I slipped and fell, it was because of my weight. Everything was because of my weight.
I do feel sympathy for her childhood. It clearly wasn't good, and she lacked some support. It is interesting, though, that even as a child, she took no responsibility for anything.
I know it was all in my head at the time. A lot of it was because of my weight. My life was revolved around my weight. I gotta be honest, I've had quite a few relationships, hookups, friends with benefits, whatever you want to call it, in my life, which is quite shocking for someone my size.
I don't find this shocking. She's always looking for acceptance and love. I have no doubt as a young girl she confused sex and love.
But I've only had a few relationships where it was truly people that cared about me and I cared about them. My first true relationship was with a girl named Cassidy. We met online. We talked to each other for almost a full year before we met in person.
Things seem to have changed dramatically. This seems somewhat sensible. I wonder what changed for her.
While we were in an online relationship, a long-distance relationship, I would send her pictures of my face. I made her understand that I was a bigger girl. I told her my weight, and she really accepted that. Things were honestly freaking great when we first met. I was super nervous. I had butterflies in my stomach. My stomach was in freaking knots. I had faith that she was gonna like me, that she was gonna think I was beautiful, and I really wasn't worried at all. Then about a year later, I moved in with her, and as our relationship got more serious and more in depth, she was honest with me, and she told me that the first time she ever met me in person, she did not find me attractive whatsoever. I was freaking so shocked, so hurt, and so surprised. We weren't in a heated fight or anything. She was purely setting me down, and she was being honest that when we met in person, I wasn't attractive to her at all.
This is hard to hear for anyone. Her takeaway should have been Casey still loved her, and it wasn't at all based on her looks. But our possible narc will only see a shattering of her perfect illusion.
It completely lowered my self-esteem a great deal, and I was never the same since then. She was that one person who I honestly thought would think I was beautiful unconditionally. Don't get me wrong, as time went on and we lived together, obviously she started finding me attractive because she started to get to know my personality. It still really scarred me.
She is to this day resentful towards Casey. I wonder if this is the start of it all. People with NPD traits require constant, excessive admiration. The fact that Casey didn't find her beautiful doesn't sit well with Amber.
After Cassidy came Crystal. She was my second, true, honest, meaningful relationship. I have asked Crystal in the past what she expected when she first met me in person, and she told me she didn't know what to expect. I too as well made her process in her head that I was a big girl and to please expect that. I was very hesitant because of what happened with Cassidy when it came to Crystal, but she had a softer heart, she was kinder, more understanding, so I really didn't think anything bad was gonna happen with that. When we met, she thought I was beautiful, and it made me feel really, really good. It helped with my self-esteem. I was finally with someone who accepted everything about me.
Narcissists are preoccupied with fantasies of perfection in life, work, romance, wherever. Crystal's complete acceptance of Amber's looks is a good start for Amber's fantasy.
A couple years in, though, she completely stopped telling me I was beautiful. I honestly didn't get compliments from her. That is when I thought I was doing something wrong. I thought my weight finally failed me in this relationship. My insecurities and my self-esteem had never been so low in my life.
Every single word about her relationship is always all about her. How they made her feel, how they thought she was beautiful, how much they complimented her. People with NPD traits always require special treatment.
As everything is said and done now, Crystal does think I'm beautiful. She tells me on a day-to-day basis now that we're broken up, which is ironic. At the time, I literally felt like the ugliest person in the world. Through going through all that when I was a little girl and just past relationships where I didn't even feel beautiful, I have officially hit rock bottom in my insecurities and my self-esteem.
It is so incredibly shallow. All she speaks about over and over is how beautiful people think she is or isn't. Her entire sense of self is wrapped up in looking beautiful, and yet she's allowed herself to be who she is today. How the heck does that work?
I can look at you guys right now and tell you I am not the most beautiful person in the world. I am morbidly obese. In society's eyes, that is disgusting.
It is not just in society's eyes. Humans are made to find healthy humans more attractive. I realize there is a fat acceptance movement, and no one should be criticized for their body. But she is so far out of the realm of normal. It's primal. It's not just unattractive. It is about your health.
So when it comes to Destiny, this is why I am super, super terrified of meeting her. I am literally constantly reminding her how fat I am, even as we're on FaceTime, where she can physically see this herself. But in my head, I feel like she's not understanding how big I truly am. Even after all my insecurities and every single flaw that I have, and I have freaking millions, she still thinks I'm beautiful and she accepts everything I've ever told her about me. I don't want to push Destiny away because she has really made me insanely happy at such a hard time in my life. She came into my life at the most perfect time. There's times when she tells me I'm beautiful and I question her truthfulness only because of my own reasons, I'm scared to be lied to. It's hard for me to trust people, and I feel like my weight is really...
She is showing the classic paranoia of a narcissist. They tend to think everyone is out to get them. She may also question the compliments, so they can constantly reassure her over and over and feed the ego.
You guys, aside from me being a nervous freaking wreck, I am so excited to meet her. I can't even put it into words how excited I really am. We have such a strong connection. We have grown so close together. It's really crazy how technology has planted such a beautiful base for people to fall in love.
She has never had a relationship that didn't start online. There's nothing wrong with online relationships, they're more common than not. But falling in love after chatting for a few weeks seems to be more about doing whatever it takes to get what you want, in her case, constant praise and admiration. Her online romances seem more like a drug than another human with needs and feelings.
I just can't wait to be in her arms and to be able to kiss her for the first time. I'm honestly so freaking excited. I'm very grateful that she accepts the person I am on the outside, but she also thinks I'm beautiful on the inside. On the inside, I'm a really, really good person, and she sees that and she points that out to me.
How it makes me feel, what Destiny says about me. She's a great person because she sees how beautiful I am. What about Destiny? Is there anything about her, aside from her admiration, that Amber likes?
A lot of people stop, stare, look at my body, and don't get to know me just because of how I look like on the outside. She actually got to know my inside, and she got to see my appearance on the outside, and she still fell in love with me. I really need to try my hardest just to let my insecurities go and embrace this new relationship like I've never embraced anything before. Destiny makes me want to be a better person. I haven't been able to say that in the longest freaking time.
So, did Destiny make her a better person? What about Becky? Will Wifey? Or is this something that you have to do for yourself, by yourself?
I don't know if this video diary was anything like I was even expecting to say or what you guys were expecting to hear, but I just figured for my first one, I should probably just talk about how insecure I am.
Aw, it's okay, Amby. We are all a little insecure now and again. I'm sure Wifey will arrive soon and make your world bright again. Just a little short one to keep us on track. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you want more and exclusive content, our channel memberships are on now. We'll be doing some completely member-only live streams, not just chat, and having some messy fun. Thanks, as always. I appreciate your time and you. Click like if you like, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. I love our little community. You guys rock. Go be kind, and hasta luego.